everybody.
Hi.
And welcome to the last episode of season 1 of Manic Pixie Dream Women.
We are your hosts, Lela and Mariah, and this is the podcast where we talk about all things post-grad, entering into the industry, and our favorite movies that have inspired us along the way.
I'm going to miss hearing that every few weeks.
Oh, you're making it sound like it's the end.
It's not the end.
We will be back.
Yeah, so today we're talking about one of my all-time favorites, Twilight. And so therefore we were like, well, we can't just talk about Twilight.
Yes.
We have to talk about the whole saga.
Of course. And I will say, I don't know if I would consider this one of my favorites.
None of them? Or like the series?
Okay, honestly, maybe like the Breaking Dawn movies are one of my faves.
Okay.
Those are fun ones.
Yeah, this is the first time Mariah and I watched the movies together.
Ooh.
And before talking about them.
Yeah, we had a marathon.
We had a live commentary going on.
Yeah, so we watched the first 3 movies and then the first quarter of Breaking Dawn Part 1 one day. And then 2 days later, we watched the rest.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was.
Although, I will say the new moon eclipse slump really hit us.
Whoa. We had to take like a walking break. We got so bored.
We really did.
We're like, we have to get out of the house. We're about to fall asleep.
Yeah. You came to my house at like 10 a.m. and then we finished at what, like 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah. We took our time with it. Very lovely.
So I do want to talk about just, our histories with the Twilight Saga. It's such a history.
Yeah, please.
Because the first movie came out 2008,
yes.
I believe, based on the book by war criminal Stephanie Meyer. I should say war criminal / Mormon Stephanie Meyer. And obviously became an overnight phenomenon. It was a crazy time to witness firsthand. I was there. I was on the front lines. I definitely saw, I can't remember which I saw in theaters. Like I might have seen New Moon and Eclipse, but I know for a fact I saw part 1 and part 2 of Breaking Dawn in theaters.
Okay.
That's a locked in memory.
Yeah.
And I've loved them ever since. I'm definitely not like, I feel like you're kind of like a Hunger Games girly.
Yeah.
Or, because that was like the same love triangle era.
Yeah, fantasy,
Yeah.
love triangle,
Exactly.
strong female protagonist. Is Bella a strong female protagonist?
She makes her own decisions, I guess.
Does she? She's just kind of like, I want to be a vampire, and then the men in her life are like,
I was born to be a vampire.
Yeah. That's an interesting...
Anyway.
Is Bella a manic pixie dream woman?
No.
I
Wait,
would
no,
say
sorry, yes.
yes.
I meant to say yes.
Okay.
I meant to say yes in that
I was
tone.
like, damn.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
Yeah.
Because as we were watching it, I was like, has she mentioned like having a singular independent thought of like a career, a hobby? She liked scrapbooking that one movie.
Yeah, literally.
When it was just she cut herself out of the photo.
Yeah, she has no personality.
She likes, I wouldn't say she likes, she was depressed for like a few months.
Slay.
She liked staring at that little window.
She's just controlled by the men in her life.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of the series, she doesn't even care about her mother. Like, it's literally just,
the mother just like disappears.
Yeah, all the men telling her
She's
what
like,
to
gosh,
do.
it's gonna be so hard to say bye to my dad.
Yeah, why are they so obsessed with her too, though? Like, Kristen Stewart slays, but like,
It's a
what is
character writing
Bella?
flaw, not like a performance flaw.
Yeah, like Edward's only attracted to her because she's the one person he can't read the mind of.
She's so different.
Jacob is just an incel, I feel like.
Yeah.
Jacob is a virgin.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
Jacob
he's
is a virgin.
16 in the movie.
At the last movie, he's 16.
17?
Minor on minor violence.
So true.
Does it make it better?
Okay. Well, I was going to say, too, I was a Twilight fan over Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I was really, like, I watched the Hunger Games. I read the books. I was just not as into it as I was in Twilight. I think it's because it's missing that, like, romance / an attractive man.
Yeah.
Because, like, Hunger Games, they gave us dust in the attractive man.
Yeah.
They said, look, these are attractive. And I was like,
I love
you can't
Josh
pull one over on
Hutcherson.
me.
You had always more refined taste than me, I think.
That's exactly how I would describe it in this scenario. Refined.
Yeah.
Because Robert Pattinson Name a more refined beauty than his.
I truly cannot.
You couldn't.
I could not.
Yeah.
I should be shot if I did.
Oh.
Did you read the books first? Or did you watch the movies first?
I remember, this is such a random memory. So it was definitely the Christmas before my parents got divorced. Oh. So I must have been 9 or 10. And in my stocking, I remember like I got up early and I was pulling my stocking down, and in it I had been given a copy of Twilight and the movie cover was on it. So maybe it was just coming out. And I remember there was a snow globe in that stocking and it broke because I dropped my stocking. And then the Twilight book got soaked with snow globe goo.
Oh.
It was very traumatic. Like, I was like crying like this because I broke the snow globe and like I ruined the stocking. Anyway.
I want to give you a hug.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're like Bella at her birthday party in New Moon.
Literally, except like way more tears.
Oh.
And so I remember like, I'm sure I read it then, but the movie had already like come out because the book was released in 2005 when I was 6 years old. So I wouldn't have read it.
Yeah.
My little sister is of the age that I was when I first like got into Twilight.
Would you want her to read Twilight?
It's more like that's crazy that I was that young.
Yeah,
I'm like
that does feel very young.
But like I mean at the time it didn't feel like advanced. You know, there's no fucking sex scenes until the very last one, and it's probably more like it's not really like a hardcore sex scene.
Yeah, I remember I got into Twilight. I don't know. I must have been 11 or 12. I knew like the movies had come out already, some of them. But so I knew about it, and so I wanted to read it, I think. And so my mom and I went to Barnes & Noble, and I think my mom asked an employee if they were appropriate. And she said yes, aside from the last book.
Okay, I agree with that assessment.
Yeah, and so then I think I started reading them. But the timeline's muffled in my head because I went to Italy with my family, also the year that my parents got divorced.
Formative years.
My last family trip.
And then there was Bella and Edward, stable as ever.
Yeah. Yeah. But
They're talking about forever, and we're like, huh.
But I think that I had read a couple of the books, just not Breaking Dawn, I guess, because my family went to Montepulciano, where New Moon is filmed. So I was, I think, 12 or maybe 11. I don't know. I was some age, and we went and recreated the scene in which Bella is running to try to save Edward from him exposing himself.
Yeah.
I will,
exposing
on the
YouTube
version of this podcast, put some of those photos right here. Boom,
yeah.
Boom, boom. Yeah. So and then I think because I think I had read them. We went to scratch that. In preparation of going to this town, we knew that New Moon had been filmed there. So I think I binged all of the movies with my mom.
Amazing.
In our little Italian villa.
Yeah.
And so I was really just like primed for this experience.
Yeah. And these are the movies like you revisit them just like as, you know, as we get older, like I've obviously like rewatched them many times. They're very comfort trash movies.
Yeah.
And I would like to say my favorite is Twilight, the titular one, not any of the other ones.
I think that's the correct choice.
That's the correct answer. And people, okay, you have Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2, yeah, like they're good for their own purposes. Twilight, though, I saw Twilight a couple years back, in a movie theater on a Sunday in the daytime. And it was the best movie I'd ever seen in my entire life. It needs to be seen in theaters. If you ever catch wind of that coming back, go. Because that's what like cemented. I was like, oh yeah, this is like a favorite of mine. This is like, I love this. To be fair, I am almost like biased because like I love with a fervor both Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Yes. That's mom and dad.
Yeah.
So when I think a little bit too long about like them, when I think
Layla's getting crazy eyes right now.
I go feral. No. When I think too much about like, oh, like how they met like on set and like dated for like 4 years and like that was a real couple. I just like start to like die a little bit inside because like I was around when they were together and I was not as into that as I am now.
Yeah.
Like I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
You love Kristen Stewart too.
I do. I really do. I think we had a collective phase whenever Spencer came out. Was that already 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Or was that just a year ago?
21?
No. 22?
What did you say?
Like, 22? Time is passing so fast.
It is.
But Lela and I saw Spencer. We
and Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, she introduced
She popped in to just say hello.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Enjoy the
we were front row. We were like, hello.
I forget that happened most of the time.
Yeah, she was a weird, like, sexual questioning awakening for the both of us.
Literally.
Yes. Still to this day.
It's sort of like if Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson are behind two separate doors. I don't know which door I'm opening.
That's
you know what I mean?
fair. Yeah.
Oh, that's really hard. Because, like, I feel like, I don't know. We're starting. Because I feel like.
This is Layla's Matthew McConaughey.
It is. This really is. Like, what would I say if they were here? I'm sweating. I don't know. But
what
like,
would you say?
I don't know because like Robert, I feel like is like weird. Like I feel like it wouldn't be an instant vibe because he's like maybe socially awkward or something.
Yeah.
And with Kristen, I feel like we could really chat about like books and movies.
Yeah.
And cinema. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true.
And I love so much that these movies were so hated, particularly their performances, particularly Kristen Stewart. Like at the time, I mean, it was just like so shat upon as like, just like, you know, filth of whatever. And I love that they've both become like these sort of like cool well, first of all, they're so cool intrinsically, but like they've become these sort of like really cool actors. Like they work with cool directors and they kind of do like more interesting roles. Kristen Stewart had a longer like hiatus than like Robert did,
but it is really interesting. Like, where else have we seen this? I mean, I guess Jennifer Lawrence too, but I feel like the Hunger Games were not as hated on as Twilight. Like Twilight was really just like
and I think a lot of it was obviously like men being like, "Oh, like this is for chicks," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you know what? So what?
Yeah.
What if it is?
I mean, honestly, I was gonna say I feel like the reason the Breaking Dawn movies are so important is because genuinely I feel like it was a very like me entering my womanhood right at the time of Breaking Dawn and like me learning about sex and what it was. You know what I mean? Is that like really weird and crazy for
Not
me
at
to
all,
say?
but definitely like it had been years for me.
I was very young.
I was like, this is old hat.
Yeah, but also I think I saw Breaking Dawn Part 2 in theaters. That was the only one I had actually seen in theaters.
Okay.
And that was a formative
I do want to briefly let's chat about the movies individually for a second.
Yeah, let's do it. So we're gonna go through the 5 movies in the Twilight Saga one by one.
Yeah.
We will introduce each movie with a ranking for us individually of the overall movie out of 5, its level of camp out of 5, and its horniness level out of 5.
Yeah.
Let's begin.
Okay. Are we starting with the rankings? Like I'm answering that question now.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So for Twilight.
Rating, overall rating, 5 out of 5.
Okay.
There's not a moment of doubt there.
Okay.
Camp, like 4 out of 5 for me.
It's pretty camp.
This is okay. Horniness, 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
They were horny as hell in this. This movie is like the most lustful of them.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Okay, wait. You do your rankings.
Okay, so I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
That being said, it is one of my favorites of the movies. I think it's great. I just, in the overall world of all movies in general, I feel like I can't give this an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Okay.
4 out of 5.
Okay.
I don't know why I had to change it to a 10-star rating.
Okay.
But I feel like 7 out of 10.
You don't have to justify it to me. You have to justify it to God when you die.
7 out of 10 is a strong number. Okay. Then for camp, 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Same as you.
So campy.
So camp. And then horniness, I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Because
I was leaning 5 out of 5.
It's just the the forbidden love of it all and how they both want each other so bad and like the way it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think too because you're witnessing them like basically, falling in love on set in real time. You feel that chemistry between them that sort of just becomes like, assumed in the other movies / like, okay, you can tell like they're just dating.
Yeah.
And maybe they're even trying not to bring it. Like it's like they're missing it's missing that spark.
Yeah.
Because the first one, like the kissing scene,
bro,
I think about that at night. But I mean, this movie is just a goddamn classic. The blue tint of everything, the colors,
the blue tint.
It's become so like classic. Like the blue tint of Twilight.
It's genuinely like if it wasn't Twilight, it would be a good movie. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like it has all of the like qualities of a good movie. It's just the plot that makes it like so silly.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what I mean?
And it is just a silly plot, but the reason it works, in my opinion, in this one is because Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson are taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
They are there, working for an Oscar.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, like they're not like embarrassed at all. I mean, they were later, but like they're fully like leaning into a big hit. And I think that's like the only option they could have done to make this work.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the acting's not awful.
No.
I think Kristen Stewart's actually quite good.
17.
She's 17, and I feel like knowing, like, we know her as a person now. Like, it's very true to who she is as a human, I feel like. Like, she is awkward. And,
well, she's kind of, like, grown out of it as she's gotten older, too.
Yeah.
Like, she used to be so uncomfortable, like, doing press for these movies. I think, too, because, like, the fucking hype around it was so paralyzing almost.
Yeah.
Like, everything you'd say would be so dissected.
Yeah, but I also just feel like her choices, it makes the plot make a lot of sense of like she is such an outcast with these people. Like she has this like she still is like kind of like cool.
Yeah.
In like the Kristen Stewart way that makes all these people from the high school want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
But
everyone wants her.
I feel like it's very just like authentic the way she's like pulls away and is so drawn to Edward.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
They're both just so two cool cats who don't belong in this world.
Yeah, so true.
Absolutely.
So true.
And also, so this is the first one. This movie is directed by Catherine Hardwicke, who did 13.
Women.
And I actually, I just read there's like a director's notebook that was like released following it. But basically, she directed this one. It obviously made a shit ton of money and like got huge. And so they were like, oh, for all the sequels, we'll just give it to a variety of different men. She didn't touch it again. And you can tell because like the fucking direction, it looks like it's lit like a commercial.
Yeah, I mean, changes so much.
It's crazy. Because also like I was reading the director's notebook and you can tell like how much love and thought and detail went into everything. She designed like the family crest for the Cullens that they all like Rosalie wore like a necklace and like on Alice's little choker and like on Edward's little wristband, like there's the same crest.
That's cool.
Isn't that interesting?
I feel like if she directed New Moon, it would be so
totally
much
different
better.
Conversation.
Because I feel like New Moon they were trying to go for like the same aesthetics of the first movie, and like because it's so moody and she's so depressed, like I feel like it would have been really cool if it was handled the same way as the
you could tell they kind of like with New Moon they were at least like trying a little bit to like maintain a sort of like independent feel, but with such a big budget increase.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are just like, fuck it.
Yeah, then they're
white
like,
light.
And also, I will say that I feel like that's also the plot. Like, I feel like the way that she directed it, I can't imagine Breaking Dawn in an independent, like, blue tint way.
But can you imagine how, like, I feel like the romance would have been handled so much, like...
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like this one is... The story's about, like, this girl... Like, the vampires do not enter the film or, like, conversation at all until, like, over halfway through or something.
Yeah.
It's, like, a really long time, which I thought was a good, like, move. Because it's, like, then the movie's just about, like, this normal girl who's, like, falling in love with this guy.
Yeah.
And then he just happens to be a vampire. But
that part is so good.
But like it's about like the romance of it. And the later movies rely so heavily on everything that first movie did for the romance because it's like it's gone, the other movies.
Yeah, that's
it's
so
just
true.
like implied.
Yeah, it really just feels like a love story with like added
Yeah.
elements, whereas the other movies it just gets so above itself.
So
with, like,
about the Volturi and the vampire lore and like
werewolves,
fighting and
even
werewolves.
I'm like, I kind of love that the first movie it just sticks with vampires.
I wonder
you know?
if it almost like I can hear an executive going, "Oh, like 95% of our audience is female. Like, how do we get men in the theaters?"
Yeah.
And we're like, werewolf fight.
And it honestly, it becomes very action heavy,
Yeah.
which
It
is
didn't
just
need
not
to
my
be.
cup of tea.
You didn't have to.
honestly. Yeah.
Because also all of it's resolved
Yeah.
almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like the eclipse fight,
Which one?
when they fight like the newborn army.
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
Yeah, I really didn't need that.
We didn't need it.
We just want love and sex.
Literally.
Give it to us.
Yeah. No, I said we were kicking our feet. We were kicking our feet because it was so sweet.
Yeah, we really were.
Like at the end when he like kisses her neck, is like, is it not enough to just live a long and happy life with me? She like rolls her eyes. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Yeah. Okay, so I do have I was reading the director's notebook, like I said. So the hairstyle for Edward, originally they put extensions on Robert Pattinson. His hair was going to be long.
No.
And he hated them, but obviously. And then they tried it out and they were like, it's not working. Thank God, because his hair is amazing in this first
It is like a
Twilight.
little insane.
I love it. I think it's so
it's
cute.
The little coif.
His
The giant coif.
Do you remember the news that was coming out after this when he was like, oh, like he never washes his hair?
No.
I remember there was like an insane amount of press about like he used like chicken grease or something to like style it. And like, I think also too, he was probably just like bullshit. I think he was just like saying bullshit.
Oh.
Just like for fun.
I love that.
But apparently like, he didn't really wash his hair that often. And I'm like thinking back on it, I'm like, I feel like that's common for a lot of guys.
Yeah. A lot of guys are just like, I wash my face with bar soap, if at all.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I have a friend who like literally doesn't shampoo his hair ever. Like, it's like he doesn't.
What does he do?
He
never
just
washes
rinses it
with water.
Yeah.
Like that, I guess. Does he smell?
No.
What is the texture of his hair?
Like hair.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
I think it also depends on I feel like having
It does.
short hair.
But so I remember that as like that was a huge thing at the time. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
also there's a lot of famous quotes in this movie, famous lines.
So true.
One of them being, "Hold on tight, you better hold on tight, spider monkey." Which one is a little goofy? That one's pretty goofy.
Why does he say it?
Hmm?
Why does he say it?
Well, let me tell you the story behind this.
Please do.
So basically, Catherine Hardwicke came up with 10 options. Like, okay, here's the things you can say, and that one was on them. And Robert Pattinson chose that line to say. That line is Robert Pattinson's
fucking with everyone. He was
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he was choosing chaos
He was like,
for sure.
Hold on tight, spider monkey.
That's
We have
so
something
funny.
there. Isn't that so funny that he chose that?
Yeah. What are the other options? They must have been awful.
I don't know. I want to know.
Hold on tight, little lady.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Grab on
Squirrel.
tight.
You little
chipmunk.
flying squirrel.
Yeah. Grab on tight, you.
Or probably also was like not grab on tight. It probably was like, bet you don't do this every day.
Yeah.
Did your last boyfriend do this with you?
Yeah.
So they're remaking Twilight, much to my chagrin, because why?
They're doing it as a series, right? Or am I making that up?
I don't even care because I'm not going to watch. Doesn't even
Fair.
matter. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I will not be tuning in.
I feel like it just doesn't work for the times
It
now.
doesn't work. I mean, there was the Vampire Diaries, True Blood. At the time, it's like so much vampire content was happening. It was like, vampire mania. So there's also like that was behind it. And also like, why would you touch? It can only get worse is my thing.
Yeah, you can't make it better.
You can't.
Especially I feel like with technology, like I just can't imagine Twilight with iPhones or like
No.
so much of the plot wouldn't even work of like Bella's just running off doing whatever. Like her parents are like, where is she? Oh.
It's not a story we need to see again. It's clearly just a cash grab. But
yeah.
for the sake of content, who would you cast in a reboot? This is a tough one because like I literally can't even picture Because also, like, they were, like, two unknowns, almost. You know,
Yeah.
like, he'd done Harry Potter, and she'd done, like, Into the Wild. But,
Yeah.
like, not, like, they were kind of, like, up-and-comers.
I could see Olivia Rodrigo as Bella.
Okay.
And then
I think she's too big. I meant...
I was like, what?
in terms of fame.
My brain actually exploded because I was like, she is so
skinny.
teeny-tiny.
No, I know. I meant in terms of fame. Anyway, continue.
Okay. And then I was also just like, damn, Lela, okay. Yeah, but I could see her. I don't think she would do it.
I think she would. She loves
Really?
Twilight.
Oh yeah, she does. Maybe that's where my brain like made the connection.
Yeah.
I think I could see her and then her boyfriend being
Who's her boyfriend?
Edward Lewis Partridge.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in Heartstopper. I actually don't know what he's
Sorry,
from.
I would not.
He kind of looks like Robert Pattinson in a way.
They're so young. I think that maybe it's also the difference is like when Twilight was coming out, we were kids, so they looked so old.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't want 20-year-olds.
But I feel like that's what they're gonna do.
But that's what they'll do because we're not the prime audience, right? I'm assuming they're gonna, try to gear it towards our age group now.
Maybe they will actually hire a Native American to play Jacob this time. That
would be amazing.
Fun fact, if you didn't know, Taylor Lautner.
He's just a white guy.
He's just white.
He's very tan.
Just a white man.
A weirdly tan guy.
Which is just funny.
Because if you've seen his family, he's like the only one who looks like that.
Really?
Yeah. Like he looks nothing like the rest of his family.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What happened? What did they do to him?
What did they do
to get this role?
I don't know. But yeah, he was 16.
Who? Jacob?
Taylor Lautner.
Jacob Lautner. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little baby. The first movie does him rough. That wig. Talk about wigs.
The wig is...
It's always the wigs.
There's not one good wig.
It's always
nowhere is there to be found a good wig.
Yeah. Shall we... Oh, wait. Who would you cast?
I can't even think of... I don't know. Like, I think it should be like... I'm not as familiar with like who's up and coming right now. Because I think it should be somebody, up and coming. But like...
Yeah.
I think it needs to be virtually kind of like an unknown girl. But I think someone who's like not... Like, who's almost like plain. You know what I mean? Because the whole thing is like she feels very plain and is like, I'm just a little plain girl.
Yeah, but that's what I mean about Kristen Stewart. Like, I think it worked because she was playing very plain, but she had an edge to her.
Yeah.
That did work.
Natural coolness.
A natural coolness. Anywho, shall we move on to New Moon?
We need to, yeah.
New Moon. What is happening in my throat?
New Moon.
New Moon. I would rate it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
A 3 out of 5 for camp. And then a 1 out of 5 for horniness.
I okay, my overall rating.
Yeah.
Like a 2 out of 5. Because I'm there for Edward and Bella.
Yeah.
And he's like not in this one. Edward is nowhere. Robert Pattinson must have had another engagement.
Yeah, it's like My Mockingjay, where I'm like, oh, maybe I actually only like this series because of PETA. Like, maybe I only like this series because, not even just because of Edward, but because of Edward and Bella's relationship in particular. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Camp, I would say like 1 out of 5. There's like nothing campy about this to me.
Yeah. Would I give it a 3 out of 5? Yeah. What's your horniness rating?
Horniness? 0.
Yeah.
Not 1 ounce of chemistry for me between those two leads.
I do think for me the camp comes from the Volturi.
Oh.
Also the wolves.
I forgot the Volturi are in this one.
Yeah. I think that there is horniness for me in terms of Edward and Bella at the end. And like Edward being like all shirtless with his fake little abs.
Edward's sideburns. He doesn't look... Okay. For some reason, like, nobody knew how to light these going forward because, like, then they all get insanely harsh white makeup to make them pale.
Yeah.
Terrible hair dye and terrible hairstyling, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because, like, why does Edward have, like, weird long sideburns for New Moon and Eclipse?
The sideburns are bad. The sideburns are really
They're so bad. He's, like, 24. He looks like 32.
Yeah.
He looks like he does now.
I also think, sorry, I'm changing course. I think it's a little horny when he like breaks up with Bella. I don't know why. It's kind
Bella, I don't want you.
I'm
to
like,
come.
that makes me want you
She's like,
so much.
Want me?
That makes me want you. You know what I mean? I really like the plot of New Moon. I love the book New Moon. But I think that the problem with the movie is the pacing of it. Because I think the end bit when she's actually going to save Edward is really interesting. But so much of the movie is literally just like
her with Jacob.
Her being depressed, her with Jacob, like
visualizing Edward.
I feel like her relationship with Jacob makes no sense in the movie. Like it's like the conundrum that I had with To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Have you seen all of the movies? So that series, the first movie is like great. I love it. And the relationship between like the two leads is like crazy, so much chemistry, whatever. The second movie, they introduce a new love interest, and it's like he is the blandest man who has ever existed.
Yeah.
He has no personality. And I'm like, how am I supposed to, when I've seen two people have such incredible chemistry, why would I root for a third person if he's not going to rise up to the occasion? And I feel like Jacob is so just like, hey, I'm there.
It's such a manufactured love triangle because it's not a love triangle. Bella does not love him.
Yes, she's Edward.
A good friends with him.
Yes.
And then Jacob does not understand the meaning of platonic love.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe it's clear in the books that like she's so like, wait, like, you know. But I'm like, girl, do you just have a guy friend? She's doing what I do, where I'm like, do I love him or is he just a guy friend?
Yeah, I feel like the movies, the books are so much better actually like making a case for Team Jacob. Where he's like actually a good guy. Like, I think just because obviously the book is longer, like you can actually follow them starting to like each other.
Yeah.
But this is just so like, it's giving incel. He was
giving big incel, especially in Eclipse.
Oh,
because New Moon, he's like at least like he's got a crush on her, but in Eclipse, he's like, no, you love me.
Oh my god,
you just want to admit it to yourself.
I
Girl,
hate it.
I hate it. Feel.
Yeah.
Ugh, we'll talk about Eclipse in a second.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else about New Moon?
I wanted to see my notes. Oh, they went from cute to annoying so fast.
Her and Edward.
Yeah. Because they got like, okay, you're my everything. I'm like, okay. Relax.
Yeah.
It's different here. The vibe changed.
The vibe has changed.
Vibe has very much
changed.
They've
become that couple in high school.
They became like that weird cringe couple.
Yeah. That was me actually.
I literally just have where's Edward?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I have vampires or werewolves, I guess, for us to ask each other.
Okay. In terms of loving, having sex with, or being.
All three.
Okay. Loving, I think I'd rather love a werewolf. Just because it feels like the safer option. Also, I feel like it would be really hard for me to like watch the person that I love stay 17. Well, that's also just bizarre. I can't, that's not legal. You know, how am I going to even do that? I understand Bella's conundrum. That's weird. Sex, vampires, easily, obviously. I need it, honestly, if I'm being quite frank. And then being, I'd rather be a vampire for sure.
For sure.
Why? Like, vampires can go fast without having to become a giant animal.
Yeah.
And then they don't have anger issues.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be a werewolf?
Ew, werewolves. And also the way, like, how, at least, like, you know, according to this canon, the werewolves, like, all can, like, read each other's thoughts when they're in wolf form. So, like, there's, like, no secrets.
Yeah.
That's
I have
toxic,
too many weird
honestly.
thoughts for that. Also, I have OCD. And actually, I was thinking about this the other day. Random story. Me and my stories. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
One of my mom's birthdays, I think when I was 12. Formative year for me, clearly. Twilight, The Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the first Hunger Games movie came out on my birthday when I turned 12. March 23rd. There you go. And what was I saying? Oh, my mom had like a group of her girlfriends like over and we like did some weird like spiritual stuff because that's like so my mom. And one woman was like said that she could read minds and I have OCD. And so my brain just started thinking like really intrusive thoughts because I was like, oh, she can read my mind.
You
and so,
believed her?
No, yeah. And so my brain was just like, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. She's gonna know that you're gay. And I was just like sitting there like, oh my God. So
Because I'm gay now.
Yeah, so I don't think it would be good for me to be a werewolf because it would just be like, everyone would like think crazy thoughts about me. Like I would probably like be like, I murdered someone once, and then all the werewolves would be like, what?
Yeah, I feel like my brain would do that too.
Yeah.
Everyone would be like, or like that scene when he's in the restaurant and he's like, money, sex, money,
Yeah.
cat. You get to meet. Did she murder someone?
Or it would just be really insane sexual thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, girl, get you some dick.
Or it'd be like, I'm spinning like a ballerina. It'd be like nothing going on.
Nothing. Yeah. Anywho.
I would go vampire all the way. I would go
all three.
All three.
Okay.
Why? I don't need to get wolves involved.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Don't need that.
That's fair.
Okay, while we're talking about terrible sideburns and love triangles, let's move into Eclipse.
Oh.
The wig.
The wig.
The wig.
The wig. If you've not seen Eclipse, Kristen Stewart, Bella Swan, in Eclipse, wears the worst wig that has ever existed ever. I'm feeling fancy. I will also, for the YouTube, include a photo of it right here. Boom.
Yeah, so she was filming The Runaways and cut her hair to play Joan Jett, so like super short.
Yeah.
And so they were like, okay, like we'll just give you a wig. I don't know who they consulted for this wig.
Oh my god. Why can't wigs be better? Why are wigs
like wigs at 2009, whenever the fuck they filmed this, whatever, like wigs were better. I think they just weren't talking to the right people. Because at the time, maybe, just white, straight people hadn't yet mastered the wig. Don't go to them.
I'm just like, for such a big budget,
Did nobody look?
Yeah, I'm just like, what? At no point during filming this, people were like, oh, this is awful.
Right?
Like, we need to change
Were they like, oh, well, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like, you have so much money.
Yeah.
It's weird, honestly. And Edward's sideburns are like even longer now.
It's awful.
Terrible hair all around. It pisses me off.
Yeah. My rating for Eclipse, 2 out of 5. My least favorite.
Yeah.
Awful. I think 2 out of 5 is also a little generous.
It is generous. Eclipse is also boring as fuck.
It's so fucking boring. Maybe I'd give it a 1.5 because the consent stuff really bothers me too. Then for camp, 3 out of 5.
They're all just inherently campy.
Yeah, they're all inherently campy. But Horny is absolute 0.
0.
No horniness.
There's nothing going on.
I never want to have sex again watching Eclipse.
Terrible hair. Terrible people in this.
Yeah. Lots of weird assault things happening. Manipulation.
Yeah.
Awful.
This one, 2 and 3, you can tell, like, they're just such filler. Like, nothing's going on.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I guess let's try to make a movie out of this.
Especially Eclipse. Like, at least New Moon, there was something about, like, figuring out the werewolves and, like, her relationship with Jacob and, like, making the love triangle happen.
There didn't need to be a third one at all.
Eclipse was just like, what even happened?
It's just the same thing.
I don't want this action. I don't care about it.
And then to recast Victoria.
Yeah.
With Bryce Dallas
Did we ever
Howard.
figure out why that happened?
I'm sure. I think I did. I do remember reading something where like the studio was like, oh, like there was a scheduling conflict. And the actress was like, nope, they just didn't ask me back.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I have no idea. Because I can't imagine like it costs less. Because like that actress is not like a big known actress. And I think Bryce Dallas Howard at that time, she did like The Village.
Yeah.
So like I can't imagine it was a budgetary thing because Bryce Dallas Howard probably would have cost more.
Yeah, that's bizarro. Also, we've discussed this, but I feel like Bryce Dallas Howard was not good as Victoria. She's too formal about it.
Her curls are too perfect.
Yeah, that's true. She's not giving New Orleans, Louisiana, bohemian core as the other Victoria was.
Yeah. So this movie literally had no fucking romance. I have where's the romance written down.
Literally.
Where is it? Because also literally the only thing we get even about their relationship period is Bella's like, I need to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Like, let's have sex. I'm horny. And he's like, whore.
Yeah.
Whore, you have to marry me first.
Yeah. And then she's like, I don't know if I can marry you. Even though she wants to become a vampire.
She wants to spend eternity with him, but she's like, it's weird if we get married. Girl, pick Elaine.
What's happening?
Pick Elaine.
Pick Elaine.
Can we talk about that ring?
Yes.
So ugly.
It's really ugly.
If a man pulled it out and was like, this is my mother's, I'd be like, ooh, she can keep it.
That's honestly a big fear of mine.
This is why I want to marry an orphan. Because I need someone who's got like no parents, no hideous ring to pawn off on me. No ties.
Yeah. What about like family? Like grandkids? Like when you have kids?
What do you mean?
Oh wait, you might not have kids.
Like there'd be no grandparents
There would be no
on his side?
Yeah.
Ideal.
Okay, so honestly, I feel like I really cannot comment right now. I think that would put me in a very bad position.
So true.
Well,
yeah, so that
would
ring is so
love
ugly. I
in-laws.
cannot. The same people who said that wig looked good designed that ring.
Bro. Yes. What is wrong with this? Who worked on Eclipse?
I don't know.
What's happening?
I know like each movie had a different director.
Yeah.
And the last two were the same director. So whoever that guy hired to do hair and makeup, costume, whatever, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. What were you doing?
Why on franchises do the directors change, like movie to movie?
Because they did with Harry Potter too. I don't know. I think they
Yeah.
like to give them, just a chance. Like they give it's a different vision. I don't know.
Maybe next season we could talk about Harry Potter. Because my favorite Harry Potter movie is the third one, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. And it's very
Yeah.
artistic and
Okay, that's
artsy.
different,
and
though.
people
This
hated
one-
it because of that.
Yeah.
Which is giving Catherine whatever her last name is. Hardwicke.
Yeah, definitely similar. But
Anyhow.
yeah, that whole like thing where she's like, "Oh, I have to get I don't want to get married to you, but I'm ready to spend forever you. Like, can you just turn me into a vampire already?" Why? That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
It felt so like this isn't a real argument. This movie, like, there's no real problem here.
Yeah.
Very manufactured.
It was so filler.
And then they're trying to make this like, who's she gonna pick, Jacob or Edward?
And then Jacob is just being, he literally threatens to kill himself.
He's like, guess I'll go down there and like, fight, hope I don't get hurt.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Jacob,
that was really good.
kiss me. I'm asking you to kiss me.
Oh my
she like can't
God.
make direct eye contact with him. She's like under duress, and he's
Yeah.
like, perfect.
While her new fiance is literally standing
Listening
like
in
10
with
feet.
his super sonic hearing. But
Ugh.
also, yeah, to do that in front of your fiance is insane.
It's insane. And him grabbing her and kissing her earlier, it's too much.
The way that she was like, I'm gonna lose him as a friend if I don't like kiss him.
Yes.
And then what honestly pissed me off almost more. Okay, that pissed me off a lot. But the way then he's like, she goes back and Edward's like, you love him. And she's like, I love you more. Stop that conversation. That's not what's happening. You don't love him more. You love him romantically. You love Jacob as a friend.
Yes. It's like family. It's like they're like brother and sister.
I love you. I wouldn't say like, if I was dating someone, he'd be like, you love Mariah. I'd be like, I love you more. Like, it's a different thing.
Damn. Hate that I had to hear it this way.
It's just so weird.
Yeah, that's bizarro.
I'm not fulfilling the same needs.
That's bizarro. Anywho, shall we carry on?
We need to carry on because, that movie.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah. Fuck that movie.
Okay, breaking down part 1.
This is when, after, in our marathon, we finally reached
We woke up.
part 1 and we were like, thank God.
We were kicking our feet again.
Yeah.
Guys, it was bad. We were not kicking our feet. And then all of a sudden, kicking our feet.
Yeah.
Because the romance has returned.
The
finally, we
romance.
get a wedding.
Ugh.
I'm not
A
helping feminism,
wedding.
am I?
What? What do you say?
I'm not helping feminism, am I?
No.
We get a wedding.
We get a wedding.
And a honeymoon. we get sex scenes.
We get sex.
Oh my God. And the most boring sex scenes of all time. Mind you.
Okay. No.
They're very like
The grabbing of the
intimate,
bed frame.
like romantic music is playing. It wasn't like lustful. It was
But
very
for me
like
as a 12-year-old,
we're
it was
having
exactly what I
respectful
needed.
marriage as a married couple.
Yeah, that's fair. In terms of ratings, to keep it going,
Yes.
3.5 out of 5 overall.
Mhm.
I love this movie. I love it. But in terms of all movies, I can't give it more than a 7.
I don't
out
know
of 10.
why can't we look at it in a bubble?
If we looked at it in a bubble, this would be like a 4 out of 5.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's 0.5 more than not in a bubble.
And then for camp, this is a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
And then horniness,
campy.
I gave this a 5 out of 5.
Okay. I almost entirely agree with you, but
Yeah.
for horniness, I say like a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Because like there was a little bit, but like they get married and all of a sudden the focus is not having sex.
Yeah.
Also, they have sex like twice and then she gets stupid fucking pregnant. I wanted to stay in honeymoon land and then being cute. Like, why do we have to make it about Renesmee?
Yeah, it was also a very long sequence of her just trying to have him have sex with her.
Right? When she's like trying on little outfits for that's cute though. I like
no,
that
I do
scene.
like that.
Which is like because also like I am picturing like, you know, they're dating.
Yeah.
How this is, you know, is it affecting their performances? Like am
that's
thinking,
actually so crazy to me thinking about like doing that scene where she's like posing for him and they're
you
like
can tell
actually
she's like kind of like
dating.
bashful about it, but I'm like, I think that's just Kristen Stewart being like, this is embarrassing that like I have to do this in front of you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually can't imagine doing that. Like,
I know.
it like makes me blush even thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like with so many people in the room, being with my boyfriend and being like,
well, and then also like they're like nude. Or like, you know, I'm assuming she's topless in some way.
Did you see, I remember this vividly. They went on the Ellen show.
Yes.
And
The butt crack.
Yes, the butt crack and
remember.
how the sex scene was like a lot more graphic.
Yeah.
And they had to like cut it down. Yeah.
Why?
Chill.
Should have put it in there.
Bro.
I want to see.
I mean, like, how do you film a sex scene with your actual real life partner and not like get a boner or get turned on?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
maybe
what?
he did. I don't know. But maybe also, like, I mean, they all always talk about, like, how it's so weird with people in the room and, like, you're, like, stopped every 2 seconds and, like, it's so posed and choreographed that that's where, like, the lack of boner town comes in. So maybe it's just, like, your brain. I mean, it's a brain thing, too. So maybe your brain's not in it.
Intimacy is weird as an actor.
Oh. It's a very intimate moment.
As an actor, it terrifies me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's one of the things where I was like, should I go into acting? Oh, all that stuff. Don't want to ever think about that.
Yeah, it's just weird that, like, not to take it there. I'm not going to take it there. This is another conversation for another day. But just, like, consent as an actor, it's like you're just being told, like, you don't have any. Because you're supposed to just, like...
Well, when you sign up for it, you know, you're making that... That's you consenting to then anything.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It scares me.
It is wild, because it's like... There's so many stories of people who fall in love on set, like, by playing romantic interests. Case in point, Twilight.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just, like, it's too hard to separate most of the time.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, physically, your brain and your body thinks it's all real.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's what acting is. You know what I mean? You're, like, basically convincing yourself.
I would become an actor solely to find a man.
Do it.
Yeah. No, but this one became baby... Like, there definitely was not enough intimacy. And because it became Baby Town so quickly.
Yeah.
And then we get an abortion debate for 1.5 hours.
Yeah. The pacing of this movie is weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird. It's very long. This abortion debate is weird. The
fetus isn't good for Bella. What did she say? It's like, baby.
Yeah.
Say it, Alice.
Why can't you just say it?
It's just a little baby.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Rosalie's a villain.
Rosalie is a villain.
She's so selfish.
She did not care. She was like leading the debate of like, don't save the mother, save the child.
Yeah.
She, as soon as the baby was born, she was like, oh, Bella's dead. R.I.P. Bye.
Yeah, literally. She did
wanted
not
that
give a
baby.
shit. Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
But then Rosalie is like a women's advocate, an ally in her origin story.
I mean, she was in the sense that like everyone was gonna like making the decision for Bella. Like but like she wasn't really looking at it in that lens. She was like, oh, baby.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I just mean in her vampire origin story.
Oh, yeah,
she's very like kill all men.
Yeah.
Which is slay. But then she doesn't slay.
I think that's her 1940s
I was gonna say
upbringing.
The same thing.
Yeah. No, but yeah, and then it's like, you know, this is where the camp comes in, right? When she's eating the blood, drinking the blood because the baby's hungry.
Yeah.
And like there's that one line I kept quoting because we see Bella and Edward at odds in this one. They're actually, you know, they don't agree because he's like, I didn't decide this. What was the thing you said to me during it about like it's like the reverse of the abortion debate or something? How Edward's like, I didn't ask for this.
Basically, so Edward, as soon as she finds out she's pregnant, Edward's like,
we're gonna get it out of you.
Get it out of you. And it's just so ridiculous because Bella wants the baby clearly.
Yeah.
Right? But then she knows she's going to die
Mm-hmm.
if she has the baby. And so then she's just putting this baby that Edward does not want to have onto Edward.
Yeah, because she's not going to, like, it's like guaranteed she's already dying now.
Yeah, so it's so ridiculous.
And he's like, how could I ever love it if it killed you?
Yeah.
Which, like, there's obviously lots of, I mean, to be fair, this is also not a normal baby.
Yes.
It's a hybrid creature of vampiric origin.
Yes.
So it's like, it's a different conversation.
Yeah, and we've already addressed in New Moon that Edward literally does not want to survive without Bella being alive in this world.
You've given me no choice.
I was waiting for you to do that.
I love when he says that. Yeah.
Anywho.
Well, and then it gets so violent, so fast. The birth,
which I love.
It's just like, it's not that I don't like it. It's just so crazy fast.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this bitch says, EJ or Renesmee. Her back breaks. She's giving birth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
EJ. If Bella were to have a boy, she would name it Edward Jacob.
After the man who kissed her without her consent.
My baby would be named Juan John.
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
John Juan. That one's actually really good.
Yeah.
I'll keep it in mind.
No, like that's crazy.
No, that's insane to
also,
name
like,
your baby after your...
Why didn't she like play around with their dad's names, you know?
Yeah.
They did, like, for the Renesmee's middle name is Carly.
Yeah.
I guess what would the boy name? Carl?
Yeah. You're too close.
I don't know.
Charles.
To me, that's also, it gives me like Stephenie Meyer was uninspired. She had writer's block that day.
She was really like,
she was
really devolved. Yeah. The first book, she like really knew what she was doing. And then she was like, they want more. They want more.
Literally.
How do I do this?
No, literally. Because then, of course, we get, no, that doesn't happen. Bella dies. Does Jacob imprint in this one?
Yes.
Then we get him imprinting on a newborn.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like gravity.
It's like gravity.
It shouldn't be. It's not.
It is not.
I feel like
pedophilia is not like gravity.
I definitely feel like the like pedophile, the people who like argue that like it's an actual sexuality, they probably love this fucking movie. Yeah. They champion Jacob Black as their hero.
Yeah, they probably like
it's like you
gravity.
be her protector and a brother, whoever she needs. Bro. And then when she finally hits 18, you're gonna fuck her.
That's crazy, actually. I'm sure there are pedophiles out there.
Because there's the way, like, when Jacob is first explaining imprinting to Bella in New Moon or whatever the fuck, it's literally like, he's like, no, it's not like that. It's exactly like that. What is it? He's like, no, like, you'd be anything for her. Like, but name me a scenario where the person who's imprinting, like, where they're not in romantic love as well.
Yeah.
So then, it is like that.
Yeah.
You're just not doing it until she's grown. Which is called grooming.
Yeah, literally. It's insane. It's insane. Mormonism. Mormons. Religion.
No, it's crazy.
No, it's actually like, I don't understand how Stephenie Meyer had the courage to even write this and to show it to people. It's one thing to think it. It's another thing to write it. It's another thing to show it to people. It's another thing to be those people. I'm spitting. It's another thing to be those people and to read these pages and go, this is brilliant. This is exactly what we want.
Well, basically, she created a justification for pedophilia. That's what she did.
Yes.
She created that.
I don't understand.
And made it like a Native American tradition.
What's happening? White people.
They
must be stopped.
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said by war criminal Stephenie Meyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anywho, shall we go to the last movie? Okay.
Part 2. Breaking Dawn.
Final rankings.
Bruh, this one is just
This is a 5 out of 5 for me out of the whole series.
What'd you say?
This is a 5 out of 5 for me.
Are you joking?
I'm not even joking. Camp, 5,000 out of 5.
This one is so campy.
So camp. Horniness, 3.
Where's the horn?
When they have vampire sex?
Oh my god. I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 for that because they have like one little brief scene.
Yes, but like I feel like the scene is so sensual and it made me really horny.
It is a great scene. That's why I'm giving it 1 star. It's getting 1 little star for me. Okay, this one is like besides Eclipse, like this one, the filmmaking is such a puzzle to me because like it looks weird. There's like they're playing like this like commercial elevator music in between each scene.
The music is really
weird.
Actually insane.
It's like it's weirdly like silent. The sound is weird.
And it's shot very strangely.
Very clear and like HD.
Yeah.
Almost like how porn is shot.
Yeah.
That's what it gives me the vibe of.
I wouldn't know.
Oh.
You slut.
Anyway.
I just watched Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 when I
that's your board.
Something. Yes.
Yeah.
Anywho.
But so and like narratively too, like it's so like I don't even know how to say it, besides bad. Like, it's like not, if this was a script I read for whatever reason, I'd be like, so nothing's happening. So there's no
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah.
Because basically the whole movie is leading up to the final battle. And so they're just like, okay, we'll give them a house. They'll have sex. They have to find all their friends, which is super easy. There's no conflict.
Yeah. It's always tough when you take one book and try to make it 2 books.
Yeah, it did not need to be made two movies. But I definitely remember seeing this in theaters.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about it, obviously. The gasps
oh my god.
in the theater when
Crazy.
Carlisle died.
Yes. That was insane.
Arguably screams.
Bro. Oh, I wish we had seen it together.
I know. It would have been so fun.
I wish we were besties when we were 12.
I know.
That would have been really cute.
We could have talked. No one else's of my friends' parents got divorced, so
Aww.
we would have bonded.
We really would have. I actually didn't really tell people until high school.
Oh, wow.
So I really would have held it to myself.
I made it known. I like use it to my advantage. I was like, all of a sudden I'm goth now. I wasn't. I was like, I'm in such pain. I was fine. I was like, see, I'm so sad. There's so much going on. I was okay.
I was the complete opposite.
Oh.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Oh. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Literally. Okay, yeah. So we get obviously CGI Renesmee as well.
Oh.
We'll go back to the fight.
We do in the first one too. Brain for 1.
Oh, right. But that one's like less. For some reason, like the baby is not as creepy to me when it's CGI face.
Yeah.
When we get to like the 5-year-old or whatever, and it's like, that's when I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then until I don't know why they
get her
just
a little bit when Jacob imprints.
Hmm.
When Jacob imprints and we see the montage of her being an adult too.
That was
and
weird.
it's CGI as well.
Even like though I feel like later they did use an actress, they have a terrible wig on her too.
Yeah. Murph. Shout out to Murph.
Little Renesmee played by what the fuck is her name?
Mackenzie
Foy.
I
knew I'd said it in an Interstellar episode, I just forgot.
Yeah.
Who at the time of filming this is 12 years old, which is how old we were when this was released, just for a visual context.
Yeah.
But she looks a lot younger than I looked at 12.
She really, yeah, no.
She's not supposed to be 12. I think she's supposed to be, like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, she did look really teeny
Or
tiny.
7.
She wasn't allowed to watch the movies because her family is religious.
Mackenzie Foy?
Yeah. Don't quote me on that actually, but I know she wasn't allowed to watch the movies because her parents said that it was too inappropriate for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure I read that it was like a religious thing of like.
Interesting. Well, it's interesting because it's written by a Mormon woman.
It's unpure. Yeah, that is very interesting.
Interesting that she's creating stuff that she can't even consume.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Mackenzie Foy, I know the other actor children were scared when she walked into the audition room.
Yeah.
After that, she got Interstellar,
Yeah. Where did she go?
And then she kind of.
Mackenzie, come back to us.
Yeah.
We used to go to the stars.
And I think she's a good cast too. I think she looks kind of like it looks like their kid to me.
Yeah, it's hot seeing Edward as a dad.
We were saying how weird it must be to like see your girlfriend like
pretending to be pregnant,
pretending to be like the father, like a family together,
having to get fake married to each other.
Yeah, it must have been like a weird thing. Or they're just like, another day.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, because they did get engaged, so like maybe they were really thinking about it.
Yeah, like, oh, like this will be us one day. Let me touch your fake belly.
Ugh.
Here's us with our child, family.
Anyway, okay, what do we think? Let's think of names for Renesmee that would have been better.
Jane.
There's a villain in the movie named Jane.
Oh.
Or something that's even like relevant to them. I think Charlie would have been really cute.
I think Charlie for a little girl is
Charlotte,
really cute.
Charlie, or like whatever. Let's keep going with the mom theme. What was his mom's name? His biological mom.
Yeah, I was curious.
Esme is not even his real mom.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. What were the justice for Edward's real parents?
Yeah, he's happy to give her the ring, but not.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is she?
Who is she? I do like the name Esme. I don't like Renee. I'm not a big fan of.
Well, I was saying it could be cute, like, because they spend their honeymoon on Isle Esme. So maybe Isla. That's cute.
Really pretty.
Meadow.
Like,
even if they're not, like, actually good,
Spider
they're better
Monkey.
than Renesmee. What'd you say?
Spider Monkey.
Spider Monkey. For the
Cullen.
boy.
Spider Monkey.
Perhaps. Spider Monkey Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like, to me, it's just like poor writing.
Oh,
like
it's so
Stephanie Meyer was like,
lazy.
what could I do? If I could. It reminds me of what I did when I was like 12 and I was like trying to think of original town names for a book. And you know what I did?
What?
I remember one of them, I like anagrammed like the word society. And so it was like Tazoise or something. And then she moves to like Kapnantachi, which is acceptance anagram.
Honestly, kind of smart.
But I was 11.
Yeah.
Like, that reminds me of what Stephanie Meyer did with Renesmee.
I feel like so much of this was just to get shock value and to like make more money. Would you agree?
I don't agree. Because I
Really?
feel like it reminds, like, I'm scared to ask, like, what are her kids' names?
Can we look
I
this
think she's
up?
got all boys, actually. I think they're like James and John.
Okay.
Oh my God, Seth.
We have the names Seth, Gabe, and Eli.
So Seth, she clearly was like, I'll name the little the werewolf after my son.
Yeah.
Because there's that, played by Boo Boo Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's got all boys, so that's why. But they're normal names.
They're very
So,
normal names.
I don't know what crack she smoked that day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was playing around with our mom's names. Were you? Is that all you were doing?
What do you say? What?
I was playing around with our mom's names.
That's funny.
Is that all you were doing?
Yeah, I like that.
Like that you made me repeat that.
Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah, okay, so the fight.
Bro. Crazy. I loved it. I loved the choice. Because I think it's like very...
To make it all a dream,
Yeah.
a vision.
Yeah, because I really will never honestly forget being in the theater and like, especially because it's this huge franchise and like this huge series that I was so obsessed with. So we knew like every moment of these books, and to enter into the theater and then have something so crazy happen where you felt like anything could happen, anything could stray away from the books.
Yeah, because it was so different.
And being in a room full of people who were like so obsessed to the same degree that I was, all gasping and being so fucking nervous, like that probably is one of my favorite cinematic.
Yeah, I
events
do
I've
think
ever
it was
had.
a crazy experience. I do think, though, like, in my, like, writing opinion, I think they should have actually just done it. I think they should have just, like, okay, like, where some of them die, where, like, whatever, like, Jasper dies, Carlisle dies. I think they should have done it. I think they should have ended it with RO dying, whatever, like, they ended up winning.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it would have been more interesting. I know, obviously, like, they were probably was never even on the table. I'm sure Stephanie Meyer would have been like, no.
Yeah.
And just, like, in general, it was never an option. But, like, I think it would have been interesting because, like, you know, the whole thing is about, like, what they're all willing to sacrifice for the ones that they love. And then to have it end with, like, nobody has to do anything. Oh, like, so there's no resolution.
I do kind of hate that it just ends with, like, nothing
Okay, like,
changes
we're
with
good. We're good, guys,
yeah,
right?
the Volturi's like, see ya. And
Yeah.
there's no change that's actually occurred.
Yeah.
I do agree with you on that. I do wish that something actually happened to that degree.
Can I start calling you dad now?
No.
And there's that line after the fight. And he's like, no.
Can you imagine having to say that? Can you imagine being Taylor Lautner having to say that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It actually shocks me because, like, you know how, like, Halloween Town, they, like, recast Marnie and stuff?
Mm.
I don't know what contract they got locked into, but, like, the fact that Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart did all four,
Yeah.
for some reason, really shocks me.
Yeah, it is really crazy.
Like, they must have been locked in.
Yeah, right?
Because I'm just, like, surprised that, like, why? Like, why? Like, you know what I mean?
It must have been a contract thing.
They
It
must have signed up to do, like, all four
Yeah.
when, like, they went into it.
Yeah. Well, is that all we have to say?
That's all. That's the Twilight Saga. And
We did it.
Something into our little piece of forever.
That was such a, I will
Close
say,
book.
if anyone ever wants to watch the Twilight series, watch it with Layla. It was really an entertaining experience.
Thank you.
She also
Watch it
knows.
with Mariah. It was a lot of fun watching with Mariah. I mean,
watch it with us.
yeah.
We might not want to watch it with you, but
Yeah.
you know.
That's why you're listening to this.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
You were saying the experience of watching
also,
with me.
You knew every line.
I
Layla
really
would
did.
say the lines right before they happened for like all of the movies. No,
Some
I
of them
love
just
it.
really stuck with me, I guess.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah.
As they should. You've given me no choice.
You've given me no choice. God, I love the way. I'm like, oh, he's so angry. Where the hell have you been, Loca? This is gonna have a killer Bella. I mean, The quotes are endless, are timeless. Nay. Yeah.
Truly. So thank you. Whoa.
Do not thank Stephenie Meyer. Take it back.
Without her, we'd have nothing. We wouldn't have 50 Shades of Grey. We wouldn't have Dakota Johnson. We wouldn't have Madam Web.
No. What was the thing in between Madam Web and 50 Shades, you said?
Dakota Johnson. We probably still have her, but it was for dramatic effect.
So true.
The Nepo babies always find their way.
Crazy. Her impact,
just like Madam Web always knows the future.
Her web connects them all.
Her web connects them all.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Our finale.
For
season 1.
And we've definitely, like, I feel like since we started, we've grown.
I honestly will say we did. And I think I'm very proud of us because we were like, we're going to do this. We're going to make a podcast. And we did.
Well, we said this also in October of 2023.
Yeah.
We really pulled it together fast.
And I think since then we've done so much.
Yeah.
Just like in less than 6 months. Yeah. That's crazy. Like, I feel very proud of us.
I've had a child.
But just like being able to meet and to discuss these things and to like watch more movies. I feel like without the podcast, I wouldn't be watching as much.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be thinking as much about the industry.
I feel like also like I'm watching the movies with a more critical eye. Even like I'm thinking about obviously like the fun stuff, like why is Billy Crystal's wig so bad and Harry Met Sally?
Yeah,
why are the wigs always so bad? Like it's sum up our season.
Yeah,
but. Just thinking about like, okay, why are these our favorites? How did they inspire us? If is it so much like with Twilight, the inspiration is purely for me out of joy.
Yeah.
And, also with the first one with Catherine Hardwicke, like she was so invested in as a director and like the craft, and you can tell like the curation of it really mattered to her.
Yeah.
So I think that's honestly very inspiring to me.
Yeah.
And like how many of them are just like, the ones when the lights begin to dim and we go somewhere we've never been before.
Not just entertained.
Yeah.
But
because
somehow
here
they are.
They are.
Yeah. I think also just like, I feel like it's so easy post-grad to like become really lethargic and to like just sit around if you're not doing anything and feel sad about it. And I feel like doing this podcast has made me more motivated in all of my other aspects of life because I have like a routine associated with it that's industry related. And so I'm really proud of us. We did a launch party. We
high-fived.
We just high-fived. We made a lot of intense eye contact.
Sure did. I got steamy for a moment there.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And we are not done.
We're not done.
Yeah,
We're
season
just beginning.
2, we have some fun stuff in store that
we do.
Definitely
We're
figured
full
out.
of ideas.
Yeah.
And, hopefully the more we learn about the industry, the more informed this podcast becomes as we try to, impart the few things we've learned.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to like look back at this and actually be able to map out our career beginnings.
Yeah.
One day. So, thanks for being along for the journey.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey if you're watching, Kristen Stewart if you're watching.
I had a weird dream about Paul Mescal last night, so
jealous.
If you're watching, hey,
how weird.
Okay. So I had a dream that I was at a party, but it was like a lingerie party.
Ooh,
like everyone was wearing, and I was wearing the cutest little set. And Paul Mescal was like in the corner talking to some friends, and I was like, I must have him. That nothing else happened, but I didn't realize I had an attraction for him until last night.
I feel like that's how a lot of people, it's kind of sprung up on them for him.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like, no, he's fine. And then you all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah. It was bizarre, but there you go.
Yeah. Thank you so much. If you've listened to any of our episodes, if you've listened to even like the first 30 seconds of episode 1, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
But thanking you more if you've listened to like more of them, obviously.
Yeah. And if you guys have any ideas for movies we should do next season,
let us know what you want us to do. We've had full control over the movies.
Yeah.
But we're willing to loosen the reins a little bit.
Potentially.
Yeah. And hopefully when we come back, you'll be there.
Yay! Thanks so much for having us. Thanks so much for having us. That doesn't make any sense.
Thanks for having us in your homes, I think she meant.
Yeah. Thanks for listening is really what I meant.
This has been
Manic Pixie Dream Women.